You've been told that feeling tired, foggy, and sluggish is just part of the natural aging process. Your doctor looks at your chart, smiles, and tells you that your numbers are normal for someone your age. But I am here to tell you that what they call normal is actually a silent, ticking time bomb inside your arteries that you cannot afford to ignore for one more second. Before we dive into the life-saving science that could reset your vitality, please take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Your support allows me to keep digging past the surface-level medical advice to find the real, evidence-based answers you deserve. If you find yourself nodding along as we speak, I want you to drop a comment below, letting me know if you have ever been told your fatigue is just a normal part of getting older. For 15 years, I have been working in the trenches of clinical practice as Dr. Harrison Blake. My mission has always been simple yet radical: to bridge the gap between complex cardiovascular science and your daily life, helping you reclaim the energy and longevity that you thought you had lost forever. I have seen thousands of patients who felt exactly like you, trapped in a cycle of worsening health because they trusted the wrong definition of normal. Today, I am going to peel back the layers of your cardiovascular system to show you exactly what happens when your arteries begin to harden, why your cholesterol tests might be lying to you, and what you can do starting today to reverse the damage. Let us start with the most dangerous lie in modern medicine: the idea that artery stiffening is inevitable. When you hit your 40s, 50s, or 60s, the standard advice is to accept a decline in physical stamina. We are conditioned to believe that our pipes are just rusting out. But the truth is, your arteries are not just pipes. They are living, breathing, reactive tissues. When they lose their elasticity, it is not because of time. It is because of a chronic, low-grade inflammatory fire that has been burning for decades. Imagine your arteries as a garden hose. When the hose is supple, your blood flows effortlessly, delivering oxygen to your muscles and brain. When that hose becomes brittle and calcified, your heart has to work 3 times as hard just to move the same amount of blood. This is why you feel exhausted after simple tasks. This is why your brain feels like it is wrapped in cotton wool. Most people get a blood test, look at the total cholesterol number, and think they are safe as long as the line is green. That is a massive mistake. Total cholesterol is a blunt instrument. It tells you nothing about the health of your endothelial lining, which is a delicate layer of cells that keeps your arteries smooth and open. If your endothelium is damaged by oxidative stress, high blood sugar, or chronic inflammation, your cholesterol, even if it is within range, starts to deposit itself exactly where it should not be. It becomes a patch on a crumbling wall. And the more patches you have, the narrower your arteries become. This is the real story of aging. It is not about the number on the scale or the date on your birth certificate. It is about the integrity of your arterial walls. Now, let's talk about the culprits you invite into your body every single day. We are surrounded by pro-inflammatory triggers. I am not just talking about the obvious junk food. I am talking about hidden stressors, poor sleep cycles that disrupt your circadian rhythm, and a lack of specific micronutrients that act as the structural support beams for your vascular system. When you are stressed, your body pumps out cortisol. Chronic cortisol exposure is like sandpaper on the inside of your vessels. It creates microscopic tears, and your body rushes to repair them with whatever it has on hand, often creating structural weaknesses that eventually lead to plaque buildup. You might be asking, if the damage is already there, is it too late? The answer is a resounding no. The human body is remarkably resilient, but it needs the right signals to begin the repair process. The first step is to stop the damage. You have to lower the inflammatory load. This means stabilizing your blood sugar levels. Even if you're not diabetic, spikes in your glucose are direct attacks on your endothelial cells. Every time your blood sugar surges, you are effectively scorching the inside of your arteries. By keeping your meals balanced, focusing on fiber, healthy fat, and high-quality proteins, you can blunt those sugar spikes and give your body the breathing room it needs to heal. Next, we need to discuss triglycerides. If you walk away with one piece of advice today, let it be this: your triglycerides are often a much better indicator of your metabolic health than your total cholesterol. High triglycerides are the footprint of a diet too high in processed carbohydrates and sugars. When your triglycerides are high, your HDL, the good cholesterol that acts like a vacuum cleaner in your arteries, is usually suppressed. You cannot have high-functioning arteries if your cleanup crew is on strike. By reducing simple sugars and increasing your intake of omega-3 fatty acids, you can shift this balance, signaling to your body that it is time to stop storing fuel and start running efficiently again. I remember a patient I saw a few years back, a man of 55, who told me he was tired of being tired. He had been told by 3 different doctors that his blood work was perfect, yet he could barely climb a flight of stairs without gasping. We did not focus on his cholesterol numbers. Instead, we focused on his arterial health. We adjusted his nutrition to focus on vascular integrity, added specific antioxidants like CoQ10 and magnesium, and worked on his sleep hygiene to drop his chronic stress levels. Within 3 months, his fatigue evaporated. He was not just doing better. He was back to playing tennis twice a week. He realized that his health was not a fixed destination decided by his age, but a dynamic state that he had the power to influence. This brings us to the common denominator in all of this: the role of movement. Sedentary behavior is the silent saboteur of heart health. When you sit for long periods, your circulation slows down and your muscles stop producing the signaling molecules that keep your blood vessels expanded and flexible. You do not need to run a marathon to fix this. You just need to move your body in ways that create a demand for blood flow throughout the day. A 10-minute brisk walk after a meal is more effective at managing your glucose and protecting your arteries than an hour-long gym session once a week after sitting for 5 days. Many of you will wonder about supplements. While there is no magic pill that will instantly reverse years of neglect, certain compounds provide the structural building blocks for your endothelium. Vitamin K2, for instance, is absolutely essential. Most people know that calcium belongs in your bones, but they do not realize that without K2, the calcium you ingest can end up in your arteries, contributing to that hardening effect I mentioned earlier. K2 acts as a traffic cop, directing calcium where it needs to go and keeping out of your soft tissues. Coupled with vitamin D, it forms a protective barrier for your cardiovascular system. But please, do not fall into the trap of thinking that you can out-supplement a bad lifestyle. If you're drinking alcohol, smoking, or living under a constant cloud of anxiety, you are just throwing money away. You must address the foundation first. The foundation is your sleep, your movement, and your relationship with food. It is about understanding that your arteries are constantly rebuilding themselves. Every cell in your body is turning over, and the quality of a new cells depends on the quality of the inputs you provide today. Let us look at the concept of nitric oxide. You might have heard of it as a buzzword in fitness circles, but it is the actual key to arterial health. Nitric oxide is a gas produced by your endothelium that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. As we age, our natural production of this vital molecule drops, but you can boost it through specific dietary choices. Dark leafy greens, beets, and even dark chocolate in moderation can help your body produce more of this miraculous vasodilator. When your vessels are dilated, your blood pressure naturally stabilizes, your heart rate variability improves, and your brain receives a surge of fresh, oxygenated blood. It is an immediate performance enhancer for your entire system. I want to challenge you today. When you go to your next checkup, do not just look at the total number on the cholesterol panel. Ask your doctor for a detailed breakdown. Ask about your ApoB levels, your lipoprotein A, and your HSCRP, which measures systemic inflammation. These numbers tell the story that the standard test hides. If your doctor dismisses these tests as unnecessary, you have the right to seek a second opinion. You are the CEO of your health, not a passive observer. We have covered a lot of ground, but the most important part is how you apply this information. You have the power to change your trajectory right now. You do not have to settle for fatigue, the brain fog, or the feeling that your best days are behind you. Your arteries are waiting for you to start treating them with the respect they deserve. It starts with the very next meal you eat. It starts with the very next walk you take. If you have stayed with me this far, you are clearly serious about living a life of vitality and longevity. I have dedicated my career to giving you the tools to take control, but I can only provide the information. You have to do the work. If you found this video helpful, please share it with one friend or family member who you know is struggling with their energy or feeling discouraged by their own doctor. You could be the catalyst for their transformation. Also, Check the link in the description for a more comprehensive guide I have put together on the specific dietary protocols that support arterial health. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought about your future. Aging is a privilege, but it should not be a decline. We are currently living in an era where we have more knowledge about the mechanics of our own bodies than at any point in human history. The gap between what we know and what we do is the only thing standing between you and the health you desire. Do not let another year pass by using the excuse of normal aging. Take the reins. Start today. Be the advocate for your own heart, and I promise you, the results will speak for themselves. You are capable of so much more than you have been led to believe. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to seeing the changes in your life. Stay curious, stay active, and keep fighting for your health. There is no time to waste, and your future self will thank you for every single positive choice you make starting this very moment. When you look back a year from now, you will be amazed at where you started and how far you have come by simply prioritizing the health of your arteries today. Keep pushing, stay focused, and remember, your vitality is in your hands. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe so we can continue this conversation in the next video.